this day we made a small trip to Saint-Tropez, Cannes to Saint-Tropez. So we are right now on our way back to Cannes, and so we drive the throughway to Cannes, to Saint-Tropez, all the coast along. So it's a great coast highway here, and we stopped here nearby around 30 minutes before you come to Cannes. Here by the Red Cliffs, we find a good spot where we can make a small car review about the car, and also then take a look at this beautiful scenery. So we made 1,000 kilometers until now. Everything is working well. This baby do his job very well. We got many traffic. We drive really sometimes extremely sporty. We throw the car to the corners. She do all that stuff that we want to do with her. She do it with us, no problem, no trouble. So I'm really happy with this car and how it performs. When we're driving through towns here in France, it's still this small bumps on the street when you're coming in a zone where it's 30 kilometers per hour. Yeah, this is there where she got trouble, because you see here she's around 9 centimeters from the floor, from the ground, and then you need to really to drive carefully with her over these bumps. And sometimes it works well, and some bumps they are a little bit higher, so they touched the floor of the car. But until now nothing is damaged, all is still super flexible, everything is good on the car, so all good. But to be honest, I don't understand, because I mean here in this part of South France there are many Ferraris, Lamborghini, we saw really many sporty cars here. Why they do that, I don't know. So many, I mean, if they do that bumps, okay, but they do it sometimes too high. And I mean, this is for sure not the only sports car that's driving here along. But it's one of the deepest. We parked many times today near by a Lamborghini, near by a Ferrari, and always when we get out the car, it's one of the deepest car I ever seen. Deeper than a Ferrari, deeper than a Huracan. So we parked nearby a Huracan. This car looks like a SUV when you put it nearby this car. And sometimes it's also then difficult to get in. So when the roof is off, it's no problem. You can really get good in. As you see, it's a step-in car. So if you do it once or twice, you just open the door, go inside, and that's it. Simple as that. The problem starts getting problematic when you got the roof on, because then you got here the entrance of the interior. So you need to go like this inside, and then it's a little bit more difficult. But to be honest, I think if you own this car, you will only drive it by nice weather, so that means you will always get the roof off. Yeah, so performance was really great. Braking performance, engine performance, car performance, wonderful. So I'm really fell in love with this car in these 2 days. And I understand the thinking behind this car. Everything simple, everything light, just to have as much as possible fun. Nothing is complicated, everything is easy. All the functions make sense at this car. Also, when you take a look here, I mean, as we start the video, I show it to you, pack the car full, so it's a really small trunk, you see it, but you find always some space. We are 2 persons, many equipment. We found our space to put everything here inside. So what doesn't have space here inside, we put here behind the seat, where is a small space normally for the roof. You see it here. So now we got here the roof, the equipment for the camera, and the boombox for the sound, because the Lotus boxes, they are terrible. The speakers are terrible. So that's the reason why we put a boombox with us. Great sound, simple. What do you want more? So some details to the car. As you see here, this car got a not stock diffuser. So I mean, the Elise is when you buy an Elise, she got a diffuser, but it's much smaller than this one. And here we are again by the thematic how cheap everything is. So you pay for this diffuser around 150 francs, what is 140 euros, something like that. And also the sport exhaust around 500. So if you compare this to other cars, it's really cheap. And also the maintenance of this car is really cheap, because when you take a look at the engine, everything is keeping simple. So if you are a mechanic, you know what I'm speaking about, what I'm talking about, excuse me. So you got everything in front of you. You can fill the oil in, you can change the air filter, so you can do your maintenance at your own. So you don't need to go to expensive workshop to do it. And if you go to a workshop, it will be not expensive, because it's simple like that. It's a K-series Rover engine, so pretty simple. They choose it before. It's one of the lightest engine at this time. I think 85 kilogram. Yeah, 85 kilogram at this time. 85 kilogram. Compared to this time, the Miata 1.8 was around 20 kilo heavier. So that's the reason why they took this engine inside. Only issue, they got problems with the head gasket. As soon as you change the head gaskets, the problem is done. It's very important to drive the engine warm before you drive sporty. And then one of the guys who really know about Lotus told me you will never get some troubles with the head gasket or with the engine. So just do your maintenance, nothing special, maintenance like every other car, and cheaper, sometimes cheaper than a Golf GTI. And you got a really exotic sport car that makes much more fun than a Golf GTI. So at the end, I think this is probably one of the best sports car money can buy. Simple sport cars money can buy to have fun and to not pay ridiculous numbers for buying the car, for insuring the car, for fixing the car if something needs to be fixed, and maintenance.
Have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of cutting.
So guys, we are on our way back at home. So we will take a little bit a longer way, because if we drive the shortest way over Italy, over Genoa, Milano, I think there will be many traffic today, because today all the Swiss people, all the German people driving home. So yeah, that's the reason why we take the longer way. But we hope that here will be much less traffic than on the way over Italy. So we are right now in Fréjus. This is around 20 kilometers from Cannes, and we took this way. So we start here by Cannes and we go here over the E80 through Avignon, then Valence, Lyon, and then over here from the backside to Geneva, and then from Geneva directly to Zurich, and then belongs the Zurich Lake to Rapperswil. So I hope we will get less traffic than the other way. On the way from Cannes to here, rain catch us, as you see. We're driving only the roof, without the roof. And, what we see is, if you drive with this car with closed windows over 100 kilometers per hour, there's coming no rain inside, because the air pushing everything up. 120 even better. By under 110 kilometers it starts to rain in the car inside. It was a middle rain, middle power rainy, so not full rain. So yeah, I don't know how it works when it's really heavy rain. I think then doesn't matter how fast you far, you will get wet. So yeah, I'm curious if we made it without any traffic or with less traffic, and in which time. So we put the roof on and we drive. So now the rooftop is on. So if you do it 1, 2, 3 times, it takes around 3 to 5 minutes. If you're really fast, 3 minutes, you got the rooftop on. And as I already told before, you see here, when the roof is on, it's a little bit more difficult to get in the car. Now I'll show it to you. Now you got this thing here between you and the interior. So now you need to a little bit to fold you up and let you falling in the car like this, and then you are in. I mean, even with 181, like I am tall, I'm not the tallest but also not the smallest, it's not a problem to get into the car. I think that's the last tunnel before we get to Ghent, and we can make a small sound check in the tunnel. So 5th gear, slow acceleration, great sound. Doesn't sound typical like a 4th cylinder, sounds more like something like 6th cylinder. Good, I mean, it's not the stock exhaust of the car, but great, love it. Love it how it sounds. So guys, finally we made it. We are in Switzerland, back again. So we got many traffic. So at the end, I don't know if this was the better choice than to drive through Italy. We also got many traffic, many stops here. But I'm sure if we will drive to Italy when we come after the border in Switzerland, there will be many traffic and rush hour at San Bernardino and Gotthard. So guys, we made it back. We are back at home, back in Switzerland, back in Rapperswil, and we arrived around 10:45 p.m. So right now is 11:40 p.m. So around 1 hour ago we arrived. We took already everything out of the car, packed everything back, dressed up, take a shower. So we are ready to come a little bit down and then go to the bed. But before we do this, we make a small review about the way, about those 4 days. It was great. It was a good decision that we go over the Provence highway once, because I was driving the first time right now, and it's such a nice highway with so many nice nature to see. So yeah, we got many traffic. Sometimes we got really 3 big traffic jams, but yeah, big. What means big? Around 20 minutes, 30 minutes each traffic jam. But as soon as we crossed the border to Switzerland, no traffic jam. Everything was working well until we come back at home. Everything was working smoothly. So at the end, I think there was a good decision to go this way. It was some more kilometers than over Italy, but I'm sure we saved around 2 hours plus minus at this time, because now everybody from Germany, from Austria, from Switzerland driving the way back over Italy, and so yeah, that's even more traffic jam than there over the Provence highway. Yes, so when we started the whole trip, we was trying to answer the question: can you make a grand trip over 2,000 kilometers? Because we make around 2,100, 2,200 kilometers in total, everything. At this 4 days with a sports car. So in my eyes, it's more a racing car. That's for me. That's how I feel it when I drive it. Feels more like a racing car than a sports car. But anyway, we call it a sports car with 2 person, with camera equipment, with baggage and all that stuff that you need for 4 days. And the answer is definitely yes. No problem with this car. We always find a way to put what we took with us in the car. We no need to make so any compromises, leave something back in the hotel or leave something back here at home. And even right now on the way back to Switzerland, we were making a small stop around some halfway. We make a stop and we buy some souvenirs. So there was additional 3 bags more that we carry with us. We buy some jackets, some t-shirts, some Monte Carlo stuff, and yeah, we even then we find a way to put this in the car. So at the end, yeah, behind the seats, once again in the trunk, we find a way, and yeah, that was really surprising. So how much space you can get in this car if you really need it for some baggage, for some bags and stuff, and yeah, that was really great. You just need to know a little bit how to pack, but I think at the end, if you try it, you will make it, so no problem. So yeah, nice trip, 2 days, 4 days, 2 persons, many equipment, and yeah, the only thing, oh my god, these stupid fucking, excuse me, speed bumps in France. This is, every small village got those speed bumps, and that's what I start to hate it every time. I was driving in a village, so I get fun to drive the car, and then comes a village. Okay. Then comes always minimum 2 or 3 speed bumps. and each time I drive over these speed bumps, I squeeze my ass because I don't want to get the car to get touched with the ground, but sometimes it happens, sometimes not. Sometimes we get well over the speed bumps, sometimes not. Doesn't matter how I try it to put the car in an angle, no chance it touched the ground, but it always, fortunately, it was a soft touch, so nothing was damaged, nothing was broken. So even when we come now back, I take a look under the car, yeah, there are small scratches under the car, but come on, hey, I mean, to be honest, if you take a look at each lower car with a low ground clearance, you will find scratches, so that's no. But even cars with higher ground clearance, you will find it. So that's okay, that's fine. And yeah, at the end, these speed bumps, even though speed bumps doesn't make a negative way to the trip, but it was better. I don't know where you're from, but here in Switzerland, for example, we got very rarely those speed bumps. So we got when you drive to a village, got the nicest, smoothest way you can imagine, and sometimes, really rarely, you can find those speed bumps, but they are low. So yeah, we can drive very well sports car in Switzerland, and that's nice, but not how it looks in south of France. Yes. Why we choose the Elise? I think we answer all the questions about the cars, but I will answer this question. Why we choose the Elise S1? So in my eyes, the S1, so that's the first Elise, that's the rawest Elise. In my eyes also, it's the nicest one. So I liked how it looks very well. No, I love it, because when I take a look from the front and from the side, it reminds me so at this legendary racing cars from the 60s and 70s. And when I take a look from behind, it looks like some classic 90s super sports cars when I was younger. So that's how this car reminds me at this time when I was younger in the 90s. And yeah, that was the reason why we choose it. And the major point is because this is the lightest Elise. So Elise S2, S3 was getting heavier, even heavier and heavier, because they got then options with him like power windows, traction controls and stuff like this. And the Elise S1, this is really the purest way to drive in a sports car. Not the purest, one of the purest. There are even other cars out there that are really also pure to drive, but really less cars. And so that's the reason why we choose the Elise S1, and because she's the safer of Lotus at the end. She saved Lotus. The Elise S1 is the reason why Lotus still exists, and yeah, I think all that is a good answer why we choose the Elise S1. Yeah, so they stopped to produce the Elise last year, I think, and so right now you can still get this car for a very good money, for low money. You can get this car, you will love it. You will love it. So if you got the opportunity to get Elise, do it. You will love it. And I think in the next 2-3 years, the price will get higher. Like all the legendary sports car, they stopped to produce it. It needs a little bit time until the people realize what a great car this is, and they will be no more cars like this, and then automatically the prices starts getting up higher. So, and these guys who are save those cars for themselves and buy it for a good price, they can do later a good business with this. So if they need to sell it, they will get well money. I think more money than when they paid for it. And so yeah, that's a good reason. So, and if you are a weekend warrior, you love to drive cars, take it for you, because I mean this car is a philosophy of a motorcycle. You don't buy it because you need it, you buy it because you love to drive. You want to get out with this car at the street, make some nice trips, road trips, some travels, like we do it right now, and you will enjoy every minute with this car. So yes, I promise you will not be disappointed about this car. Okay, so yeah, that was our trip. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed like I do. And if you like it, please subscribe, like it, put some comments down below. I will try to answer everything. And yeah, we will see us in the next video. So bye bye.